Hello everybody, welcome to the Man Alone Solo Role-Playing YouTube channel where we are going to present an unboxing of Alien Evolved Starter Set. I guess the book, like we're just going to open it. The Game Mother screen, and we're going to see what's inside. Now, Alien Evolved just shipped from the Kickstarter in the US, and in typical Free League fashion, excellent communication throughout. And the starter set, like most of their starter sets, looks like it's going to be an absolute banger, even better than the original. Occasionally when I am breaking out a Free League starter set, I feel the urge to compare it to another company's starter set. But I don't want to embarrass anyone. It's one of the best parts about being a Free League fan, in addition to the Year Zero system, which this game is going to feature. And I don't care. I am upgrading my love for the Year Zero system. I love it. It's so fun. It's so fun, and I don't care about your bell curves. Okay. Now, I hope that this review, or it's not really a review, just sort of an unboxing. I hope it's fun. I hope it's good. But my friends, nothing can be better today than the 7 minutes of euphoria my brother and I experienced when my mother, who was visiting for a bit today, walked over to the desk here to see this and said, "Oh, is this one of your games?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Alan. What's Alan?" I'm like, can you just riddle me this here, folks? Is there anything here that might help you to think that it's not called Alan? But I just keep thinking about, like, if this game was called Alan, I almost want to like edit all of my stuff to just make it. I mean, yeah, I don't want to do. I mean, this stuff will come right off, but like, let's just. So we are going to review Alan. What could it be? Is it Alan Parsons Project? Alan Girding? Um, Alan Alda? Al-Anon. Very helpful for family members. Who knows? But Alan starter set, Hope's Last Day. The core rules, they've all been evolved. Even the GM screen and this patch that I got for being an early backer. The USCSS Mike Piazza. And I'm even excited to see the Game Mother's screen that they said features the look of a mothership intelligence interface. Now, the mothership intelligence interface, the artificial intelligence that was on board the Weyland-Yutani freighter ship that Sigourney Weaver, Ellen Ripley was on, and it initiated a self-destruct sequence. And it had that little moment where in Alien Covenant, where it said 7 bells and all's well. And that was the only part of Alien Covenant you remember. But yes, we had a little bit of anxiety about this in the Man Alone members only Discord when it came out. Just a little bit of trepidation because even though Mother does have like some salience in the movie, the look of it, we said, have they sort of like overestimated the cultural resonance of what Mother looks like? Because if you were to drive this by me here, and like I didn't see Alan, and you were to say, "Oh, I'm gonna Alan this," and you were to say, "Hey, what is this? What is this screen?" And I would say, oh, that looks like a TV monitor that they stuck in the back of Star Trek the original series and had a bunch of like gibberish on it just to make it look like, the ship was processing or something. But even now as I look at this, it does have a little bit of depth to it. And so we said we were going to wait and see. Obviously, Free League is not lacking in the department of design. But yeah, we'll see about that. And then the starter set, it is a reprise of Hope's Last Day. That was the name of the first starter set. And boy, oh boy, I mean, I'm just not kidding. Check out what we got here so far. So for, again, $50, you're going to get a rules booklet with abridged evolved edition rules. And the abridged rule books in these starter sets, they are abridged, but they're always high quality. We took a look at the Blade Runner one the other day. It was like 81 pages. It's soft cover, but they're nice. I mean, even Dragonbane, like those, the originally, if you have the core book for Dragonbane, there was no core book. It was just two soft cover books inside the box set. Um, we're gonna get the expanded edition of fan favorite Hope's Last Day. It looks like it was her penultimate day. I don't actually think it's woman named Hope. A huge double-sided map with one side depicting chartered space in the year 2183 and the other featuring the Hadley's Hope terraforming. Sorry, said that weird. Hadley's Hope terraforming colony known from Aliens. 5 pre-gens, playing cards for gear, combat initiative, personal agendas. Can you say solo lo 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 lo? And panic responses. Okay, 10 engraved base dice and 10 stress dice designed specifically for the Alien role-playing game. A useful supply dial. Yeah, there's this little supply dial. It is very useful. I love that they say that. It's just useful. You could use it for anything. Rules reference. Here we go. Cardboard tokens for characters and creatures, and a high quality plastic miniature of a xenomorph. Are you kidding me? But there is an error on here. It says 2 to 6 players. No, no, no. Because the core rules now have a solo mode. I think I have like a little guitar sound actually that I could play with that. The core rules now have a solo mode. All right, I'll just change that in post-production. Along with this Kickstarter release, there was also 2 boxes for the Rupture Protocol. It's actually the Rapture Protocol. The Rupture Protocol is when we had to run and get our dad the preparation age. But yeah, so there's like the adventure module and then also this like miniature set as well, which is really nice. Here's me at my FLGS doing field. This is live from the field here, folks. This is the extent I go for you. I ran out of game allowance this month, so I had to just... Anyways, here it is, live from the field. All right, so this is the miniature set. This is the Rapture Protocol Cinematic Adventure. Pretty cool. Adventure, which is one of the hallmarks of Alien RPG. It has a cinematic type narrative adventure option. And for that reason, and also because people simply love Alien, I would venture to say, and I know that some people are gonna disagree with me, but even though we can't know for sure, dollars to donuts, this is the most popular Free League game. Like, I don't know about Evolve, but the original, 2019. Now, that's right. The original came out in 2019. That's 6 years ago, which I was like, wow. But I have some more jaw-dropping trivia for you. And you're not allowed to look it up. I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to ask you the question, and then you are going to say the first thing that comes to your mind. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. When did the first Alien movie come out? What year? No. 1979. That was 46 years ago. Holy SHI double hockey sticks. Or SHI clothesline pole. All right, so the I know that I'm a wanted man for dawdling, and so the last piece of dawdle waffle that I'll do here today is to say that my favorite feature from the original that I'm so glad they have carried over is this totally emotionally and intellectually honest quote from the gamer. Move over, Dungeons and Dragons. Free League has released Alien the role-playing game, and it is as great as it is terrifying.
Move over, Dungeons and Dragons. Just like D&D here.
All right, so I feel the need to describe why I find that so laughable and so cloying. It's sort of the people who say the line to make it onto the movie poster. Like, you ever see that when you see people, those commercials where somebody's coming out of a theater and you got some guy who's going, it was an adrenaline thrill ride from the very first moment to the very last scene. And it's like, nobody talks like that. Nobody says things like that. Don't say that. You know what you'd say. You'd be like, yeah, it was good. Like, to me, saying move over, Dungeons and Dragons, Free League has released Alien. To me, that is tantamount to saying, move over, ruby red grapefruits. Fettuccine Alfredo has been released, and it's the new best food. They don't have anything to do with each other. Oh, this is not the competitor for D&D. Look, I don't have any love for D&D. I'm not saying that. I would love to shake things up. I don't think it's happening. I think that D&D and Wizards of the Coast is probably outpacing its second competitor by like a factor of 10. But it's just it's just not real. It's not real. And you know what? I could prove it to you. I can prove it because I bet you if I look up this article, dang. Okay, well, folks, I got my hat in my hand here. You know, this article came out in January of 2020, so about a month after the first Alien was released. And here I thought that because I know that this guy used to cover D&D all the time, but after this article, D&D, I mean, it moved over. I mean, look at this. Look at the list of ah! Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good Temtem. Let's do a little Temtem. There we go. There we go. But it's there. The best feats for a cleric. I've got to race home. I've got to read the article on the best. There is not one Alien article after this. What happened, gamer? It was supposed to move over. All right, all right. It just seems like a nice person. All right. Move over, dude. Hey, move over, mayonnaise. Suntan lotion is here, and it's the new creamy white substance that you spread on. All right, hold on. Okay, so I do want to savor the starter set just a wee bit, and so I am going to take a look at the Game Mother's screen here, and I really do hope they pulled this off. It just didn't look that interesting from the promotional photos. But if there's one thing that Free League does really well, it's like the visuals, the aesthetics, and they're like getting better every time. Much like my review of Blade Runner, did that a couple days ago. Much like in that review, I think that you're it's not so some people think that like if you use black background on these pages, it's not really an opinion. Like people will say like, I hate this. It hurts my eyes. Please don't do this anymore. So I'm not at that level. I don't. I just personally don't have like any eye strain that comes from that. But I do think that it obfuscates so much. There's something about it that sort of like makes it like it would seem that pictures would pop more with a black background, but it like the black swallows the pictures. But there is a way to pull it off. I think that Blade Runner did a good job, and I think even the small tweak they made with Replicant Rebellion, just kind of adding a little bit more. I think it was a bright lilac color. It They seem to backlight it more. Not really, but like the obviously they didn't put lights in the back of the pages, but I think that's the trick. And they also varied it up with different pictures and different sort of set pieces in the middle. With Johan Noor put some stuff in. It was really great. And so Free League knows what they're doing, you know. And of course they're not going to hit it out of the park every time. But this one was a curious choice. And so I'm going to give it a good look right now. And I'm hoping that something about like the depth perspective of it will change. So before I get lost in that, right away, I'm going to tell you I love this right here. This is a great choice. This is a great choice. This whole change right here is a great choice. And again, just like Blade Runner, they brought on Johan Noor from Merkborg to help with design, layout, graphic design. And in lieu of this, it's really weird too. Like, this was a moment of design. Like, there was an era of design that Free League got caught in the tail end of, and it affected Blade Runner, Coriolis, and the original Alien. And they've rehabbed each of those in unique ways. Like Coriolis is actually one of the most beautiful color schemes. They sort of added a cream to it instead of just like black and white. It's a cream, and their dice are just gorgeous. And this is the kind of subtle expertise, though. Like, why is that so gorgeous? These great dark dice. Here, let me bring this. They totally inverted it, and I say it looks like it still maintains that sort of Ridley Scott cyber post punk industrial look, but um, in the first game they tried to copy the kind of like green and black terminal, you know, like blinking cursor MS DOS of the future. And this is what they have now, and it looks to me like the color that Scantron booklets used to be, those little exams or like the fill in the bubble. And I just think it looks so clean, so slick. And it's everything looks so clear. Ugh, and I love the flow charts and everything. Great choice. Now, I want to see if we can compare this. Okay, so this was like the original one, and it actually kind of looks sort of cool right here, but unfortunately the sort of ghostly green here just didn't hit, especially with like the reflection. Oddly enough, Mothership, that drew its name from Mothership, kind of, this is the GM screen for that, kind of has the same idea here, although it is lighter, and it does again have this lighting like backlight. And then the inside is incredible, not just from well, design is like serviceable, but the amount of content. And that's also an area Free League often struggles with. In the inside, I always say at least one of the panels that shows up is sort of a head scratcher. But the Blade Runner one was good, so open to that. And then this is, I just found like a little bit of an abridged photo of the inside of the last GM screen. Yeah, that's about what I would check. But yeah, it was like that blocky writing. It was sort of everything was cubed like that. The core book. Yeah, so it's almost like, I mean, other than they added some stuff, but even like here, you're gonna see the difference in the map, and yeah, I just like it's conceptually cool, but like a page like that, you see what I'm saying? Like there is something really interesting on this page, but if I'm just like scrolling here or flipping, I just my eye is not going to say like, "Whoa, whoa, stop, stop. Check out what that is." It's just going to go, "Keep cruising." It's like a little glimmer of light, you know? And so yeah, and yeah, this sort of like steel text boxes. This was a moment, dude. I don't know. It was a micro design moment. All right, let's look at the GM screen. This is too much for a GM screen, wouldn't you say? And I'm like trying to prop it up so that you get okay. Yeah, I mean that is kind of interesting. You know what's interesting is it almost looks like there's a glass panel over the buttons there to the right. Hmm. Okay. Uh, it it's gonna be a no from me, but look, unlike people, when it comes to GM screens, it's what's on the inside that counts. For people, it's just how hot they are, how much of a hunk or a babe they are. Okay, so we did go over the core book quite a bit in a recent video. We also did some solo playing. I'm going to go to highlight a few things at the end after most people click out of the video because the starter set is open. But for those of you who must not have service, you're like right now. You're like, oh, I must not have service because no one's calling me to hang out. It's like you're just going out on your balcony, just saying that to random people on the street. You're like, "Oh, I must have no phone service because nobody is calling me to go on dates or to hang out." So I guess since my phone service is down, I guess I'll watch the rest of Man Alone's video here about Alan. All right. So again, as usual, bookshelf box, great quality, teeming with possibility, filled to the brim with dice. There are going to be both base dice and stress dice in Alien. And of course, the dice design. Always, this box is you got to fart it open a little bit. I think at this point, Free League was still coming into their own with their dice, but they made a critical um, win here. Was that their sixes on both, which are their success, pretty standard, not much. Just kind of has that. I don't know. Is that a famous quasar? Is that the old alien quasar? And of course, on the base dice, ones don't do much. They're just ones. They don't do anything. But when you got this stress dice going and you throw a one, come on, why is this? It's a face hugger. What in the world? This is objectively better review. All right, so Nelly. Nelly Furtado. Now, this is going to I think over the last 3 days alone, I've painted how many xenomorphs here for Alien the board game. I guess it's kind of like a war game board game. And so comparatively, it's about the same size, but these I had to glue the tail on and everything here. And then the Sigourney Weaver model is I don't know. She looks like she looks like my assistant principal in my school growing up. Yeah, that's a tough mold for Sigourney there. Look at this one. So we will be comparing all of this to the available assets because that's always an exchange. Now this is what we're looking at for the original starter set, and I actually do like this contrast here. That looks really nice. The rule book had coherent design. The USCSS Cronus there looked really nice, and so it looked like we got initiative cards, personal agenda, yeah. So and then tokens, which I've heard, and then in the bottom left, I bet you didn't know this, but the hero of this starter set was Zach Galifianakis. Um, Nobody has used a token for anything in 15 years. Okay. Let me open this here and let's see if we can get a better. Yeah, really nice, nice thick plastic, one piece. It is one piece of plastic. It's not one piece. Let's see what I can do really quick. So ideally, you want a xenomorph to really look like they're in like a latex bodysuit, right? And so usually, if you have a nice, Lord, if you have a nice shiny black coat on there, it should do the trick. It took me quite a while because it's a very, very detailed miniature. So you could even see on the tail, I probably have to put another coat in a few places. Now, I've painted, like I said, quite a few xenomorphs just from the board game. Well, and when I say the board game, I'm talking about Another Glorious Day in the Core, because there is another game called the something Fate of the Nostromo. That's different than the one I have, but the one thing that sometimes gives it a nice finishing touch is if you use a sort of gunmetal or the speed paint markers from Army Painter. I haven't. These are very inconsistent right now, but so I'm not sure how it's going to show up. But sometimes this will give a nice additional sort of glimmer to them as if they're moving. So let's try that. Yeah, this polished silver is actually kind of perfect, especially because it's dripping pretty slow. Is that it's just giving it enough to see like the definition of the striations and everything. So I'll show you the finished product in a second. Yeah, it's sort of incredible. Whenever I'm painting these, I like reacquaint myself with the like biological terror that these represent. And of course, whenever I really want to remind myself, I just look at the gift of all gifts from BB. This is the Taschen entry on H.R. Geiger, who is the artist behind this and so many other things. Actually, I should not recklessly page through that. Let me just show you this one painting. Is that unbelievable? All right, so I definitely like that we're getting a deck box here. Now, I do want to try, like, I want to feel these cards because, again, if you saw my Blade Runner review, the cards were abundant, but there was something weird about them. And I do like the amount that I'm seeing here because, again, some games, like, for instance, Vaesen, you'll get, like, that. Initiative cards, and even with, like, the different Vaesen cards, that much. And then Mutineer Zero, about 5 boxes worth of it. Twilight 2000 has the core. Encounters from Black Madonna. Encounters from Urban Operations. Initiative cards. Oh, you know what? This is the core. These I just got for my playthrough. This is a weapons card deck. I've never even opened these. And then you'll have sort of some like odd cards. Like these ones are not even box not even filled, but well, Pirate Borg's not free league, but Forbidden Lands. Oh, I love that. It's like a little mini version of the starter box. And then Symbaroum, who even knows what to say about these cards. We're gonna have to figure out something to say about them because it's coming. But yeah, the Blade Runner ones were like loose and something. Wash my hand. All right, I'm ready to rock. Had some gummy worms. Okay, so the Blade Runner ones, they just felt really strange, and they're very chunky. Like it's hard to separate them. And now that I've thought about it, I think it's just a quality thing. I think they feel like more pressed cut, less like manufactured playing cards, and more like sheets of paper pressed together. Which this is 2022, so I'm not sure what sort of assets they had then, but I know that they had all those Mutant Year Zero decks. So this box looks really nice, and I don't want to rip it. Pretty excited about these like personal motivations or whatever, and I want to see if we could use these for solo play just to kind of like suddenly have like a personal motivation card slip to you. All right, so these do feel like the Blade Runner cards, and they have that like surface cling. What is up with this? See, they like when they have this, they come off as like chunks. It's hard to get them apart. Damn it. Maybe it's just because they're new. This looks great. They don't feel cheap. They're not cheap. They just like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Let me like see. Yeah, maybe I have gummy worms on my hands. I do. Oh, there's something like, okay, this move right here. Like I'm going through the Dragonbane cards. See this? This is like feels like a deck of poker cards. Okay. Now, see that? Like I'm doing the same motion. I wonder what that is. So the personal agenda cards, I think they're just for the mission. But, and this would be a spoiler, so don't like if you're gonna play through this as like a group, don't look at this. But it gives the personal agendas of, for instance, Holroyd. Act 1, 2, 3. But if we, there's a lot of these here. And so I'm thinking you could probably use these as in, well, two things. Number one, you could use them as NPC cards. Just say like, "Oh, what's this person's deal? You are a Wayland Yutani sleeper agent." Wow, that's pretty extreme if you're just like meeting someone on a. Maybe if you had acted sooner, none of this would have happened. You knew what triggered the crisis. Okay, so that person's feeling guilty. Maybe a little bit of a stretch, but that definitely could be adapted. And then again, the weapons look awesome. The initiative cards look awesome. Um, oh yeah, those look really, really good. Nice and clear. Look at that. Wow. Okay. So that looks good. And then these look so good. And they're so easy to. I'm honestly not trying to do this. I'm just like really perplexed like what this is. Let me make sure I'm not like. Yeah. They just glide. Glide, 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 glide. So strange. Oh, Dragonbane cards. These are so good. What was that I was... Oh, that's the adventure cards. Yeah, so those look great. Weapons look great. Are they all weapons? Who knows? They're all stuck together. I like these as well. These like condition cards. Because they're different, like wounded, and it'll tell you what that is. So Um, these are good just I think for like tracking or whatever, same thing as tokens, but this is actually I think where we could have a lot of fun is rather than rolling on the table, you just draw a card for a panic response. I did note in the review when I just had the PDF of the beta, and I'm going to look in the core book, but again, one thing they did not fix is that the androids don't experience any stress, which I get that, but there should be a corollary thing that they like system, defragment. I don't know, but it should have been something because not only does that make them way OP in this universe, um, it also is like the most fun thing about the game is the stress. And I also think that they recommend you use the Android for solo play, at least in the beta. And I was just like, no, no, you want the stress, you want it. It does suck. It is difficult, but like it is as we would say, a use stress, a productive stress that enriches the experience. Yeah, so this is cool. Like I'm definitely gonna use this in solo. Like I think the way that this is I think it's intended that way to be like to draw a card or two, but um see like the thing here is I don't think it would just have to be the next card, right? Because it says what the panic response is. I wish it didn't say what the panic response was. Cuz I think the way that these are set up is just to like put them in front of a player when they're experiencing that so that they can remember what's going on. But I mean, I could easily like just not look at what the card says, or just say I have to take the top card or whatever when it happens. But yeah, this is like a stress response, and all this is all of them. Yeah, tunnel vision, shakes, jumpy. So yeah, the content, the layout, but I just I again, I bet you that it's like some. I bet you it's some minor change. It could be the same company just being like, yeah, we have this new composite paper. It's virtually undistinguishable. That kind of language around it, but it's just kind of a little bit different. And it is. I just think uh, I do. I'm the first to admit that I'm a big baby, and there are certain things that are like, okay, move on with your life, but for instance, if you're drawing cards that are revealing information to you and you're tense and you're stressed about that, I don't want to figure out that I just drew the wrong card and that I actually got a good card and then or I drew a good card and I say, "Oh, thank goodness." And then I realize, "Oops, nope." I mean, I guess that could be attention in and of itself, but that's pretty cheap. Into storage they go. That sounded dismissive. Like they're gonna get pulled out as soon as I play it this weekend. So also I want to say that like and again I don't want to compare because different companies emphasize like different parts of what they do. Some companies pay more for art. Some companies pay more for fast production or what. I don't even know what goes into it. And so it's a choice as long as a company is not like ripping you off. I think that it's uh, I like that Freely gives these premium starter sets. I am very much somebody who enjoys it when I get something special, and so I don't see. Again, the cards feel like a nice stock to them, and so I don't think it's a cutting corner kind of thing. But it is important, and I think the Pendragon cards are a good example of just like as you take certain pieces of what is special and you kind of like say, well, what if we just change this or that? Like having these cards versus having this card, which is like it's perforated. This is for Pendragon. It's a nice card. It's good, but it's perforated. I had to like rip it apart myself. It's very flimsy. This doesn't feel like I have something special. This feels like I have an index card with information on it, whereas like this is special. This is very special. And so I think that like sometimes companies get lost in terms of like they forget uh what their appeal is, and they'll try to flatten themselves to have a wider appeal. I'm thinking of one thing right now that did this. I'm just saying, it's like when you flatten yourself to try to appeal to everybody, you just become sort of lukewarm for nobody. Does that work? These ones are small. Nothing on the back. Lukewarm. Then, of course, the dice here. I mean, are you kidding me? I was trying to look up like what this starter set is going to cost out of box, because you're getting 20 dice. They have outdone themselves this time. 20 dice. Custom engraved dice. Clip dice. They are so nice. And the face huggies. Bingo, bango, baby. And now we got to see what the actual, because I'm pretty sure I bought a set of 10 and they were 25 or 20, at least $20. So I love looking at what's the cost of 10 dice, 5 of each for $20, or 20 plus all of this for how much is it? Whoa. Whoa. $40? That's like $10, $13 cheaper than it usually is. You get this whole thing for $40. Is that just like Black Friday? Because it's not. It's like not a sale price. That's just the price. And the miniature set for Rupture Protocol, $56.99. Oh my god. And the base dice set. The base dice set. Okay? If you want to just buy the base dice, $20. So you could $20, $20, or the same price. You just get all of the stuff with it. I will never understand you, Free League, but don't ever change. Don't ever change. Wow, I can't. I'm. I want to be clear that that is not listed as a sale price, at least on Amazon. So please do not feel FOMO about that. Like, that's gonna be the price. So unreal. And it comes with these little buttons for your cufflinks. No, this will be for like the little supply dial, which is nice. Kernel supply dial. Cute. Crew use only. This device is property of Wayland Yutani. Yeah, so it's like the supplies are very abstract in the game. All right, tokens. I don't know what they mean, but all I know is like when I have a really nice starter set like this, I wreck it and just like set everything up as soon as possible, because guys, if you don't, you're going to want to keep it perfect and you're not going to play it. So just wreck it. This is what it's here for, to play. Right? So punch out the tokens, throw the dice in your Free League dice bucket, use the leftover bag, and let's throw this away. You're never going to need it, okay? You can throw it away. All right, alert. We have another Wowie Zowie moment. I love that Free League is doing this. They did this with Vaesen. Bring it on. Pour some sugar on me. Again, they have these extremely high card stock handouts with rules references for everybody at the table. Awesome. Double-sided. They're basically mini GM screens. So cool. Such a good idea. And it's no like trouble at all for them, right? Because it's like actually this is a really cool design. It looks like it's almost like a rip away because they have this stuff in the book already. Just plop it on these cards. I mean, this is just if you're like, oh, I don't prefer free leagues off. You're a punk. Who's gonna believe you about anything? You're gonna be like the gamer telling people to move over D&D. All right, so this is very cool. Huh? This is a bit surprising. I don't dislike it, but this is a very different like illustration style. Wow, what's up with that? Feels like there's another sheet. All right, well, this is nice as well. And that's what the tokens are there for. This is finally, I have some like sci-fi maps. These are really cool. What an interesting, like, just like switch in design. Oh, this is going to be one of those maps that's just like massive. I don't even know if I want to do it. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to unfold this whole thing. This is the Middle Heavens, where you could do ship combat, that famous part of Alien, ship combat. And tell me this is a battle map. That'll make me... all right, well, what is this here? Hadley... Oh, okay, Hadley's Hope. Why do these keep feeling like there's something... Feels like it's like a decal. I feel like I'm going to pull off a sticker. It's really nice. I don't even know how to describe this. It's like a vinyl feeling. Wow. Looks great. And a couple of things. All right, so they have successfully implemented part 1 of my 20-part plan for how to make tabletop role playing there are certain pieces that are always included in things no matter what. And the first thing that just please we can get rid of is the page that says what is an RPG and how to play it. We know. If we don't, someone will tell us because there's nobody that has this game that doesn't know or have somebody with them that doesn't know. It's just like opening a Caesar salad. What is a salad? The second thing is thank you for not using a handwriting font. I get it. These are supposed to be like somebody wrote them. I would like to read them. It's not a prerequisite for me to be like, this doesn't look like somebody, this looks like a computer wrote it. Yeah, I know. I believe it or not, I don't actually think when I see handwriting on those that like Thomas Harenstam like opened up every starter set and wrote out all of that stuff. Very nice quality here. Wow, this is all... I'm just blown away by this. It's so high quality. That's Hope's Last Day. This is the start here. All the backers. Let me see if I recognize any of you. You know what, guys? I actually think it's time because this is actually true. I'm tired of living in the shadows. It's time that I tell you my real name. It's right there. It's right there. It's literally right there. Are you serious? It's right there. It is right there. It seriously is right there. But you don't know which one it is. I'll give you a clue. This page is one name. This whole thing is my name. I don't see any of you here. Where have you been? And then we have the Evolved Edition rules. All right, they have a continuity consultant. That's kind of cool to make sure it all like makes sense. Yeah, these look like they'll be enough to play. I'm just gonna look up the Android. I just am. Part of me is wondering. Ooh, they have full auto. Yeah, this is gonna be so fun. Member Discord. Let's members only Discord members. Let's do like a one shot of this. Not it for GMing. All right, hold on. Android critical system damage. That's something. But that might have been there all along. I love that. I just actually painted the guy who has this like big attachment gun. There he is. Cool. Absolutely outstanding starter set. Absolutely outstanding. Beauty, 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 truth. And let me tell you, there was a point about like a year ago, maybe a year and a half. I was like, you know, I should just get Alien. I was like, I should have Alien. I'm such a fan. Why not just, you know, pick it up? I probably can get it on sale. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off. And suddenly they announced this. I am so pleased with this. It's such a wonderful starter set. I'm very curious about Rupture Protocol. I'm not a fan of the cinematic. Well, it's not to say I'm not a fan. It's just like I'm not into the cinematic. I'm not into the cinematics. I don't like I don't prefer one shots. One shots to me are like a compromise. But I am curious about those minis and everything because this one was really nice. Probably most everyone goes to the front of the book here. I'm going to the back, starting on campaign play. Novgorod looks good. Doesn't this look so good? The life path system, I love it. I love it. What was the life path system I just recently? Oh, the Blade Runner one. Great. Yeah, you're gonna get like your salary here, favors, disasters, psych evaluation. Then you get like a career posting. I love that part. I love that because it's like there's not even any fudging here. This is really how these people's lives would go. That's from the first starter set, and here is Last Survivor. So first things first. Let's see what our total page number is on it. So 291. What do they say? We're eating good. Oh, cool. Oh, this is cool. This is like this is upgrading things from like the core book. It's just like reconciling it. Great. So it's going to go from what 291 to 307. 307 W Disney. Wow. So, 16 pages. Well, how did we get so lucky, guys? How did we get so lucky? I want to play it again. Where's that awesome matrix? The like mother. So that's the danger event matrix. So many good yeah, the mother analyses and answer matrix. And you go, or matrices, ma'am. All right, now does it say? Maybe it'll say playing a solo android. Androids in the alien universe often find themselves alone. Because of this, as well as their increased survivability and resistance to panic, an android makes an ideal solo character. No. No. I'm going to just end the video right there. Just me going, no. I'm going to do it. I have nothing more to say. I'm just tired, you know? tired. Oh, I'm so excited.